News on your favorite high school team? Check out the podcast of your high school fan zone shows from 100.7 The Score. Estacado Matadors, Coronado Mustangs, Monterey Plainsmen, Lubbock High Westerners, Friendship Tigers, Cooper Pirates, and Liberty Patriots. Hear from your school's coaches and get the latest updates on this week's games. Find them wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by the home of the high school fan zone, 100.7 The Score. Breaking down Monterey sports. This is the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome in again to the High School Fan Zone on Monday night. As I mentioned before the break, we're going to close out with two very special guests, because I do like the other guy a lot too. We have Monterey coach Jill Schneider on. I'm going to still call you Monterey coach
I still
for the
am
rest
for
of the
a while
school
longer.
year. Who let me know and let some folks know last night, and the news came out today. This was her final year in charge of the Lady Plainsmen, and I'll say it again. I've written it. I'll say it again. What a way to go out with the state championship. The pictures I have of you, how happy you were that day in San Antonio, make my heart feel good, because you're riding out on the highest of highs after 27 years, 39 coaching. And I went back and watched the video and listened to it. You mentioned that long as a teacher too, which is cool, because as you mentioned, that's just as important to you as the coaching part.
Yeah, it really is. And, I've had 39 years in high school coaching, and then I was an assistant for 5 years at Texas. So it's been 44 years. That's a long time. I'm just like 46.
You look like you go another 40.
Well, let me introduce the other guy down there who's probably been doing radio for at least that long.
Since 84.
David Thetford, the voice of LISD Sports. Boy, he's been the voice of a lot of things, co-host of Thetford and Ashby.
Yeah.
There's not enough stuff up here, though, for you. You probably feel a little awkward.
Ashby brings all that
There we
stuff.
go. And I wanted to invite David in because I have a guess here that you have probably called or seen more Jill Schneider coach games than anybody.
Well, I have called them. I haven't seen more. Jim Brown gets that.
We're going to talk about Jim in a minute.
I don't even know how many he's seen.
All of them.
All of them.
Very many.
But it's been an honor to be able to do that, I can tell you. We've had a lot of fun through the years, and, of course, Jill's just built a tremendous program at Monterey, and it's been fun to watch. And what year did you actually start? What was the fall of the first year?
98.
98.
Yep.
See that? I would have guessed it was like 68 or something. I can't keep up with anything.
It was 98.
Yeah.
I hope I still look as young as she does when I get to be a few years older. You mentioned Jim Brown, and Jill and I talked about this earlier. One of my favorite memories of this whole run, I think you were sitting right there too, David, was after the state semifinal game at Hardin-Simmons. Mm-hmm. He kind of wandered over, just kind of nonchalantly, and walked up to Jill, and without anybody telling anything, Jill said, "Jim, here, let's take a picture with the trophy."
Yeah, I remember.
And you could see how much it meant to Jim.
Yeah.
And that's just Jill. That's who Jill is. And ever since I've known her since '98, that's Jill in a nutshell.
Did you get your picture with the trophy?
No, I did not.
I didn't either.
But I'm also not
Guess
Jim
we know
Brown.
where we stand.
And Jill, I asked you that earlier, but what did that mean to you to have Jim there? Because he has literally, I don't know that I've ever been to at least a Monterey basketball game that he's not there.
Well, he loves Monterey basketball, and he loves Monterey and extended to basketball. And he was at the 1981 state championship game, and he was asking me if I was at it, but I was a few years behind that because I was still at University of Texas at that time, because he was thinking we might be the only two people in the gym that were at the both state championship games. But he's such a loyal fan, faithful fan, he really loves our team and is very invested in us. So I knew it would matter to him. He took another picture with the trophy and with me at the banquet. We invited him to come to that too. But we just want him to know that we value his support.
And I told Jill this: if I ever have anything just a little bit factually wrong in anything I've written, he lets me know, and I appreciate that, because I have no qualms about letting somebody correct me. So
yeah, well, that's a good thing.
Yes. Another reason I wanted David on here is Jill, what did it mean to you to have David, and you've been friends with Randy Dean for years too, to have them there to call your game for that last game? Because you guys know that my father, the late Tom Hall, was my father-in-law, and he talked about how cool it was for him to be at the state championship games he called because of his friendship with Danny Wren, also late Danny Wren. What did it mean to you to have this young broadcaster here?
No, I mean, it meant a lot to me personally, just because David and I are good friends. We go way back, and we like to give each other a hard time and jabber back and forth. But he's great at his job too,
yes,
and
he is.
I'm always happy to have him, not just there as a friend, but his knowledge and his just presentation of the game to our fans, I think, is very important because they feel like we're there, and I think that he does that no matter who he's calling for. He brings that same energy and expertise to his work.
And once in a while, he lets Randy Dean talk.
Yeah, Randy gets to talk. Randy is so good. It's a great basketball coach, but he played football in high school and at WT, and so he started doing football with me, and I thought, well, this will be interesting. He's better at football than he is. He's great at both, but I was amazed at his expertise in football. It's just he's excellent, and it was a great team. We were glad to be there, and it's funny. We walked in, and I don't know whether you'll remember, but we walked into the Alamo Dome that day, in that back big tunnel deal, and the girl sitting there, she goes, "Who are you?" It was Robin Gravel, Doc Gravel's daughter, who was the trainer at Coronado for years and years.
She recognized him.
And the other lady that was sitting there was a former Red Raider. She was an older woman, but she was a Red Raider, so easy to get in.
Yes, it did make it a little bit easier because they were very prickly about letting them. And maybe it's because of what David and I looked. Maybe we looked guilty. I don't know.
Well, I want to say something about Randy also because we were good friends when he worked at Coronado, and he has always been so thoughtful. Not just in a state championship game, but big wins, any kind of win. After a season, he always texts and just, tells me great job or great season and comments on what a great job we do and how much we mean to kids.
He has fun calling games too.
He does. We have a lot of fun, and we try to. And it was so good with y'all because y'all were always winning. There's been games that we have done for any sport, and we weren't winning. And people that listen say, I thought we were winning listening to y'all. And we weren't.
You've had to do a few of those for us, too.
Well, that was many years ago. But, you just think about the great games, Randy, that time to go. All right, we'll be back.
David knows what the deal is, so we'll be back on the High School Fan Zone, the Plainsman Fan Zone, after this break on 100.7 The Score.
Gene Messer Auto Group has proudly been serving West Texas for over 50 years. We owe our continued success to the community and believe in giving back to ensure we grow together. Because when one of us wins, we all win. That's why we're proud to announce our sponsorship of the Lubbock Cooper Pirates. Here's to a year of amazing memories and unforgettable victories. We wish you all the best. Make your next game-changing play at Gene Messer. Business done the right way. Proud sponsor of the Lubbock Cooper Pirates.
Forster Construction has done some great commercials over the years, but they're even more proud of their roofs. Since Forster Construction opened in 1985, they've installed over 20,000 roofs. Local, TTU alumni, family-owned, insurance and financing, warranty. This is all part of who Forster Construction is. But most importantly, they'll do the work right the first time. And if something does happen, they'll be here to take care of it. Call Forster Construction today, 806-794-5600.
With the Truly Free Weekends plan from Reliant, you get free electricity all weekend long. Truly, you're saving with free electricity from 8 p.m. Friday to 12 a.m. Monday. And every day is powered by 100% solar. And you thought weekends couldn't get any better. Get the savings you truly deserve with Truly Free Weekends. Call 1-866-RELIANT or visit Reliant.com. Reliant, proud partner of Texas Tech Athletics.
Terms and conditions apply. Reliant PUCT number 10007.
Happy State Bank is your business partner when you want to make a small business possible. Hi, I'm Noe Perez, Portfolio Manager at Happy State Bank. Happy State Bank is a full-service community bank ready to invest in you and all of your banking needs. As you start or grow a business, Happy State Bank will be there to listen and help you reach your financial goals. A bank to grow with. Happy State Bank can make banking easy. Come and see us today or connect with us online at happybank.com. Happy State Bank, a division of Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
One of the things we really love to do is help people remodel their existing home. Oftentimes people aren't willing or able or just don't want to move, but they want to spruce up where they're at.
It's so exciting to see something that they maybe have had for 20 years and they get this new, fresh, updated look. They are so ecstatic because it feels like a new house to them.
My name is Will Truby.
My name is Tana Hayward, and this is Yates Flooring Center.
Meeting your needs, resolving your problems. That's the goal of the Duffy Law Firm. Legal issues can arise unexpectedly, but attorney Christina Woods Duffy is here to help. Whether you're facing estate planning disputes or navigating a complex divorce, she'll listen to your story and guide you towards the best possible outcome. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now and secure the legal help you need. Call 806-370-7814. Duffy Law Firm, empowering you to make life-changing decisions.
Hub City Body Shop says thank you. We've expanded with a new building now on Spur 327 and more space to better serve you. If you have hail damage, need collision repair, or just auto body improvements, we fix them right as fast as possible, and we always make sure you are satisfied with everything we do. Keep it local, HubCityBodyShop.com.
The big bone, family driven, Hub City Body Shop.
Make it pretty, call Hub City.
Hub City Body Shop.
The Texas Tech Alumni Association helped make me a Red Raider. My name is Emma Reeves, a current student from Clear Lake, Texas. My parents are members of the Clear Lake Alumni Chapter, where I received a scholarship to attend Tech. I became active with Student Alumni Board, helping with the official ring ceremonies, Legacy Club, Legacy U, and so many other great programs and events sponsored by the Alumni Association. I'm a proud member and want to thank everyone who helped make me a Red Raider and my dream become a reality. Membership matters. If you are one of us and not active with the TTAA, consider joining me at texastechalumni.org/join. Belong today.
Diving headfirst into Monterey athletics. You're listening to the Plainsmen Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back to the Plainsmen Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We are talking Monterey girls basketball because, she's going to scowl at me here, the legend has announced her retirement. She's going to teach the rest of the school year and then get you a rocking chair and all that stuff. Or I asked you earlier today, retirement's going to be a lot about spending time with your kids because you haven't got to do some things that normal people get to do during basketball season.
I will do some things with them for sure. They always go on trips during the year, and Kellen's already got us scheduled for a trip to Iceland in September. So I will be doing some of that kind of fun stuff, and I'm also doing some scouting. A friend of mine is the general manager for the Golden State Valkyries, and she's just asked me if I'd be a domestic scout and just watch college basketball games and write what I think about the players.
It's like being a sports writer or a broadcaster, David. You just get to go to games and just...
Yeah, it's a heck of a deal. You know, they pay my way to go, and I get to watch some great basketball and some great players.
So is that over now that basketball's over? You start going to...
Oh, no, I'm going to go to the, what is that, this hoop summit, the Hoop 10 Summit in Portland, where Aaliyah's going to play.
When is that?
That's this weekend.
Okay, good. So you can't be on our show this Saturday.
That's right. I think I told you I'd be out of town. I don't know if I told you where I
am. And Aaliyah's supposed to be on too.
That was last Saturday.
We were going to have. Yeah, you were out last Saturday. Yeah.
So we got just some fun things like that coming up. And so I feel like I'll be around the game just in a different capacity for the foreseeable future.
But where's your family?
Haley has moved back. She was in Santa Barbara for a while, and so I would go out there every one of my birthdays. But now she lives in Austin, so we've gotten to where we take trips elsewhere because Kellen's in Dallas and Haley's in Austin, and Ryan's splitting time, my son, between Dallas and Montana. He was in Kalispell for a while, which was a beautiful place to visit too, but I think he's moving to Grand Falls. Kalispell is in the northwest corner of Montana, pretty close to the Idaho border. It's right by Glacier National Park, actually. It's a great place.
Is Kellen still mean?
She's still ornery.
Ornery is a better word. She was always ornery.
She's always ornery. She's a little bit of the
and
chip
Haley
off
was
the old
so
block.
nice.
Oh, Haley's so sweet. Yeah.
What happened?
Haley's got a little ornery in her too, but she manages it better than Kellen does.
We used to play LGB, and Kellen was on the team. My daughter Rachel was playing, and of course they were scared to death of her because she was big and tall and mean, or ornery.
Yeah, ornery.
So you guys were talking about this between breaks. This was a question I was going to throw out for both of you. We'll call your last game your best memory? That's your favorite game of all time, or one of maybe there were others, but for both of you, since you have seen so many, David, can we agree that the 5 overtime game against Amarillo is probably number 2?
I think I would put them in completely separate categories because the state championship game was my most exhilarating experience in terms of what it meant and the magnitude of the game and winning a state championship. Like, there's nothing that can replace that feeling. But the Amarillo High game was a better game.
Oh, yes.
A lot better game in terms of the 5 overtimes and just nip and tuck, and how many of the overtimes were shots hit or missed at the buzzer.
It's phenomenal.
And then just having players foul out and having players of ours come on off the bench and do a great job for another overtime and a half. So yeah, it was absolutely the best game in terms of just everything about it that I've ever been a part of.
The atmosphere, it was just phenomenal, and 2 great teams going at each other, and 2 great coaches going at each other. Jeff Williams does a great job up at Amarillo, and he and Jill have had some knockdown, drag-out games, and they're always fun to do and fun to watch because y'all have great players and great coaches. The whole package is there. 5 overtimes, Coach.
I mean, I know it was great, and even Jeff, they Amarillo High fans, on social media the next day were saying it's one of the best games they've ever seen. And Jeff and I go way back. He was in the same district I was in when I was at Borger. He was at Dumas, and contrary to what Pete said on Facebook this morning, I did not coach in Dumas. I coached in Monterey. At Borger. But Jeff and I played again.
I said her hometown was Borger at first, and she Jim Browned me. She let me know.
Yeah, the Phillips Blackhawks would not
approve.
Her John Hill were up there at Phillips
would
together.
Not approve of saying my hometown was Borger.
Let me read you this text.
We were, in every sport.
Did y'all win state?
We won state in girls basketball, and I'm not sure about. We had great football teams.
Who was the MVP of that game? 35 points in the state championship.
What year was that?
1976.
1976. We went in 75, and we lost by 1. They hit a shot right at the end of the game, and so.
So 2-time state champion as a player.
We didn't win
as a coach.
Yes, once as a player,
one as a player, and one as a coach.
Coming up on the break, I want to read you this text from Jeff Williams. I've coached more games in my career against Jill than anybody else. My first year in Dumas was 97-98 when she was at Borger, and we played every year, but maybe a couple. She's someone I respect as a competitor and consider a close friend. We're coming up on the break. I'll finish it because it's a pretty long text. This is the Plainsman Fan Zone on 1.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. It's David Thetford and legendary Jill Schneider between us.
Upgrade your next camping trip with a new RV from Camping World in Lubbock. Shop great deals on the best brands and floor plans, including Coleman, the #1 travel trailer brand in America. We have an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. As part of America's RV network, Camping World has the largest selection of new and pre-owned RVs in the country. Don't miss your chance to own your dream RV. Visit Camping World in Lubbock today.
I smell a lot of BS around here. Big bank stuff, bad customer service, automated call centers, and too much focus on profits for shareholders. You wanna know what I heard? Half the banks here in Lubbock, they're not even from Texas.
At Lubbock National Bank, we're so Texan that the entire film crew is from here.
Howdy!
Lubbock National Bank. Awesome service, no BS.
Well, Dale, yeah.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You've probably never heard this before, but it's really true with Bell Heating and Air. They specialize in fixing it before replacing your heating and air conditioning equipment. And while they can replace it, let's see if they can fix it first. The motto at Bell Heating and Air is one ring takes care of everything. So give Bell Heating and Air a call today at 806-777-3250 and ask about the summer startup service agreement so you can prevent the breakdown before it happens. That's Bell Heating and Air.
Hey, it's Lauren with the Home Zone. Spring has sprung and the savings at the Home Zone couldn't be better. Sales in all departments. easy in-house financing, or the lowest cash and carry prices in town. Brand new name brand furniture, appliances, and mattresses in stock and ready for pickup today. Washer and dryers as low as $9.99 cash and carry. Queen bedroom sets as low as $6.99 cash and carry. Sectionals as low as $5.79 cash and carry. Inventory is selling fast, so stop by the Home Zone at 3225 50th Street today, or check out our website at homezonetx.com. The Home Zone, helping you make your house a home.
Hartman Roofing has been your local roofing expert since 1996. South Lubbock, Levelland, and Tahoka areas have all experienced significant hailstorms this year. Our team has decades of experience evaluating roofs and helping our customers through the insurance claim process. If you're a homeowner, own a business, or a realtor needing an inspection on a property, call us today for a free expert assessment of your roof. Call Hartman Roofing at 763-8500 or go to hartmanroofinglubbock.com.
Forster Construction has done some great commercials over the years, but they're even more proud of their roofs. Since Forster Construction opened in 1985, they've installed over 20,000 roofs. Local, TTU alumni, family-owned, insurance and financing, warranty. This is all part of who Forster Construction is. But most importantly, they'll do the work right the first time. And if something does happen, they'll be here to take care of it. Call Forster Construction today, 806-794-5600.
Your inside look into Monterey sports. This is the Plainsmen Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back to the last segment of the Plainsmen Fan Zone. I'm not going to finish that text from Jeff. I'm going to let Jill read it. It's because these guys already talked about the 5 overtime game, how impactful that was for the communities, the crowd, and everything else. The fact is, with all respect, and Kyle Lovern, I don't think listen to. If you guys don't go 5 overtimes, I don't know that you don't win state that year. Your girls were a little bit emotionally spent by the time you played Lubbock Cooper in the regional tournament. And that was a great. You were talking about the games with Shirley, Lilly, and Coronado. For about 3 or 4 years there, the games with Lubbock Cooper were as good as it got in West Texas basketball.
Yeah, and they were always great games. As much due to the nature of the rivalry as to the level of both teams in terms of their skill. But, you know, I felt like we responded pretty well to the Amarillo High 5 overtime games because we played absolutely tremendous against
one of the Friscos, wasn't it?
Well,
no, it was
Timberview.
Timberview, yes.
Yeah, and they had an excellent team, and we played great. We got them down by like 20-something point, 18 to 20 points, and then I feel like we ran out of gas because we played so hard, and they came, if you remember that game, they came roaring back on us at the end. Then Heaven broke her nose in that game, and so we were trying to figure that out because she couldn't go back in with a broken nose. And I felt like you could just see us just running out of gas because we just stormed on them. And then latter fourth quarter, we were lucky to get away. I don't remember how much we won by, 7 or 8 maybe. And then Ari got hurt with 25 seconds left in that game and couldn't play the next day. So I really don't feel like the Amarillo High game took that much out of us. I think we were on a high from that game and played very well against Timberview. And we had a really good team that year. I feel like that was a team that could have, would have, should have advanced and didn't. So
Ari getting hurt. Where Cooper hurt you that game was going to the basket. That little North kid or whatever her name was. My gosh.
Yeah, Peyton North played very well against us.
And if Ari would have been in there, that would have been stopped.
And they just played. They played well.
Played really good.
You know, and you couldn't take anything away from how well they played. I just know that poor Heaven Ari couldn't play that day, and so it changed our whole rotation. And Heaven had to play more minutes, and Heaven couldn't breathe because she had a broken nose, and she didn't even have a basketball mask. The best thing they could find on such short notice was a wrestling mask for a broken nose. So it was just, it was just a cluster. So it was what it was. But maybe that ended up just being part of our story that makes our story better.
Exactly. Without seeing everybody else in the state, obviously, I would put those two teams, those two programs, for about a 3-year stretch up against anybody in the state because of how you were constructed and how well you played the game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love those kind of games. I love those kind of rivalries. I love that kind of intensity and crowd involvement. even the hostility from some of the crowd is kind of fun in terms of, if it's controlled hostility.
I just when I hear that, I just think they're yelling at David instead of
that's what they're yelling about. Well, and a lot of people don't know this, but that state championship game that year between Lubbock Cooper and whoever the other team was that won it.
Yeah, Frisco Liberty.
And y'all had already beaten them earlier in the year bad.
We beat them by 50, but
by 50.
They did not have their big player. They didn't have Abi in that game. But
she's not worth 50 points.
I think Aaliyah hit some kind of turnaround half court shot in that game. We just played great, and they didn't have all their weapons.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have to tell people that. They won state. We beat them 50.
I know. That sounds worse.
David brought this up, and you didn't win the state championship by 50, but you won fairly comfortable. And we talked about this on the radio that next week. To me, the two games leading up to that were good games. That's what winning a state championship is. The game against Argyle and the game against which one of them?
It was Frisco Memorial.
Yes.
Yeah, Memorial.
Yeah, they were just really intense games against very good teams, and I'm just thankful that just the whole way it played out, it's just, I don't know, I just think it was just miraculous for us because Chloe Cerna and Jasmine Holloway and Zanai Wilkerson scored 6 points each to contribute 18 points to the first half of that game, and we're up by 15 at the half. It was amazing, and then Zanai gets hurt and can't play, finish that game out, and they come storming back, and that was a close game too. Maybe we won by 3 because they hit the buzzer at the.
Yes.
I mean, they hit the basket at the buzzer. That was just a.
And that was a good game, but the game to me was Argyle.
Argyle was a great game too.
They have a great team, and they're long and lengthy, and it was a tremendous game. And I love what their coach, I can't remember his name now, Westmoreland or something like that. Anyway, he said after the game, he goes, "We were ready for your offense, but we weren't ready for your defense." Yeah. That says a lot about your coaching.
No, I think our defense was underestimated by everybody all year, by opposing teams, even ourselves. We finally bought in and made it happen for ourselves. And he also commented on our defense to me after the game, which, made me happy and proud for our team.
Well, and that was the last game that Jill's going to coach at Monterey, the state championship, because she is retiring after this season. That has been the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. You'll have to listen to more when David has her on some Saturday soon.
Someday.
This is Randy Rosetta. This has been the High School Fan Zone, wrapping up with the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
It's a great time to be a Texas Tech fan, and the Matador has your fan gear. Shop the Matador for Texas Tech basketball shirts, jerseys, and autographed basketballs. Shop the Matador for exclusive Texas Tech baseball and softball gear. Show your Texas Tech pride on the course with Texas Tech golf accessories from the Matador. It's a great time to show your Texas Tech spirit, and the team at the Matador is ready to help you. We're proud to be local and alumni owned. Wreck-'em Tech.
Don't wait when you get hit by a rock chip. Clearview Auto Glass is ready for you. And if your windshield is cracked or you have a broken side mirror glass, Clearview Auto Glass can fix it. Plus